Going 3 Premier League games without a win isn't a disaster, especially when you are up against big teams like Chelsea, Liverpool, and then Tottenham Hotspur. But for Manchester City, losing those 6 points could hurt them at the end of the title race, especially when you know they are fighting against Arsenal, who is also very strong. What is the real problem at Manchester City? Hi, my name is Nyameche, and I'll tell you more about this in this video. Let's get started, guys. So there's some common stuff happening in the 3 games that Manchester City have drawn, and one of the key points is that they are missing clear-cut chances, and they have defended very badly. Even though City has been dominating the games, they don't finish off chances as early as possible. Haaland has been missing a lot of chances, and the 3-3 draw against Tottenham Hotspur, who did not have their main man, James Maddison, and their proper centre backs in this game, makes you think. So is Pep Guardiola getting the balance right, especially with how he is deploying Julian Alvarez in his setup? Let's be honest here. Alvarez has had an unbelievable year. He was the main striker leading the lines when Argentina won the World Cup in Qatar 2022. And then he was really an important figure when Manchester City won the treble. The guy has become so important to this Manchester City team that Pep Guardiola cannot drop him. And when Kevin De Bruyne got injured, Pep Guardiola has managed the way to turn this attacking striker to become an attacking number 8, or what we call a midfielder. For the most part of the season, he's been amazing. He's been doing very great in that particular role. But truthfully, he looks a bit missing in the big games. In the big games that City needs more control, and relying on Alvarez in that attacking role might be a bit too much for Manchester City and for Alvarez himself. So City's midfield situation is a bit weak this season. Kevin De Bruyne has played only 30 minutes this season, and Gundogan also left Manchester City last season, and he hasn't been really replaced. And John Stones' ability to step in midfield has been badly missed. Manu Akanji is trying so hard, but he doesn't really fit into that position because he doesn't have that same flair and confidence on the ball as Stones. So Rodri is getting also very overloaded with work in the midfield, both with and without the ball. Now, if Stones is fit, or if Gundogan partners up with Rodri in the middle, maybe using Alvarez as a number 8 wouldn't be such a problem. But Alvarez isn't your typical City midfielder. His role is more central. He's allowed to push up and support Erling Haaland as a striker, and he's got the freedom to stick to the center instead of drifting wide. So take the draw against Tottenham Hotspur as an example, and you realize that City has been doing the attacking with 5 players this season, but instead of making moves into the channel to support Jeremy Doku when City had the ball, Alvarez stays on the central line and makes runs into the box, almost like a second striker. What really surprised me in Guardiola's system yesterday was how he flipped things around. Alvarez was on the left and Bernardo was on the right, and it's a bit strange, especially when you think about the havoc Bernardo caused in big games with the runs into the left channel against Manchester United and last week against Liverpool. With those number 8 switched, City posed less threat on the wings. They were in essence playing 2 pairs of players on either flank who wanted to end up playing on the inside. So Doku and Alvarez from the left are right-footed, and while Bernardo and Phil Foden on the right are also left-footed. Perhaps he favors this approach against teams that play a high line when he wants more directness rather than balls from wide. In this setup, City seemed a bit disorganized when attacking, even though they had plenty of chances to win the game. Most of the chances came from pressing rather than well-executed build-up. Take this screenshot as an example. Carefully look at Jeremy Doku. Against Liverpool, Doku would have had Bernardo making a run around the outside, pulling the defender away and giving Doku the room to cut into the space. But in this case, Doku has got defenders crowding him, and he has to try a tricky shot with his left foot. Things weren't just clicking like they usually do, maybe because of the switch Guardiola made. In this example too, Alvarez plays in Doku and again stays central. Doku initially has more space to work with and ends up cutting onto his right foot and hitting the bar. But again, it's a difficult shot for him to take with 2 defenders in his way. So Bernardo wasn't effective on the right wing too. He still made those runs into the channels like in this example when Foden got the ball, but if Foden had passed to him being left-footed on the right side, I mean the angle wouldn't have been as favorable as for Bernardo to send the ball across the box to Erling Haaland who was waiting in the box. So some of City's best moves happen when Bernardo and Alvarez switch back to their normal roles. In this example, they are pressing Tottenham with Bernardo on the right and Alvarez on the left. But as they close in, they end up swapping and Bernardo sets up a ball for Julian Alvarez, who hits it against the post. In this slide, they combine down the left. Alvarez has won the ball high, and Bernardo is in the channel waiting to collect it. His car back finds Haaland, who some way somehow misses it. So here's the thing. Maybe that was Guardiola's game plan all along. Maybe he wanted Bernardo to sneak into the left channel unexpectedly and team up with Alvarez to overcrowd Tottenham in that area. But that goes against a bunch of Guardiola's usual principles. What is really irritating, especially when it comes to how City was using Alvarez, is how they ended up letting that second goal. So in this scenario, City set up in their regular style with Bernardo and Alvarez way up ahead of Rodri, who's holding down a massive space in the middle. Akanji sends the ball to Alvarez, and Alvarez tries this fancy flick around the corner to Erling Haaland. It's like a classic move you like to expect from a striker playing the midfield role. Alvarez is basically trying to pull off a sweet duo play with Erling Haaland in the middle, but Davis gets there first, head the ball right through City's midfield, and boom, it lands at Son's feet. Eventually, Giovanni Lo Celso smacks the ball in from the edge of the box, all thanks to that bad turnover from Julian Alvarez. At times this season, Alvarez has been fantastic, particularly in victories over Fulham, West Ham, and Wolves when he has combined well with Erling Haaland. When facing top tier teams, Guardiola might need to rethink things. Alvarez brings a lot to the table with his pressing, set pieces, and goal scoring abilities. However, he falls short in terms of staying in position and delivering consistent passes, which is to be the cornerstone of Guardiola's style. With a challenging match against Aston Villa coming up, Pep might opt for a more cautious approach. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be giving back-to-back football content on YouTube. The best is yet to come.